do it.
Hello, welcome to Day One Patch Podcast, episode 259. Unfortunately, Adriano had some complications with his teeth removal, and he's no longer with us.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So I just stole all of his board games. Just took every single board game he has.
You want all those?
Huh?
You want all those?
No, I just pawned them off.
That would be quite a bit of money, though, eh?
Well, it depends, right? It'd be like... Because the thing is,
you
like...
You gotta fix your mic there. I can't see you.
You can't see me, but this is... Otherwise, this is going to sag. This is functionally fine, but
bring the thing down and turn the mic to the left.
Bring what thing down?
Bring the whole thing down.
I don't know how to do that.
You do that thing, right? Yeah.
No, see, this is just going to be uncomfortable now.
Hmm?
And now there's going to be a bunch of noises on the...
They don't care. They understand.
This doesn't work.
They watch our Twitch stream. And
This doesn't work.
There you go.
Ow! It doesn't work. Pinched myself.
You live and learn, Matt.
See, why didn't you do... See, look at this. Now this is too low.
Now turn the thing to
No,
the
now
left.
it's too low, so I just got to go back up. Now this is broken. Like, look what you did. Look at this. Now there's no pop filter.
Just hold your mic like a stand-up comedian.
No, okay, what we're going to do is this. We're going to come in from the side.
That's what I was trying to tell you to do.
Okay, now wait. Hang on a minute here. We got to keep this like this. You do this, okay? Then you tighten this so that it hopefully holds. And then you fix this damn thing. This is the most ridiculous intro to a podcast.
That's what the fans want, man. They want the realness.
Not the realness. I still can't see you.
Because that thing has to go on the bottom. Turn the pop filter.
There we go. This is good, right? I can see you, right? Can you see me?
It's ridiculous, but all right.
What do you mean?
I guess it's better.
There you go. No, see now it's not. Look what you're doing here.
I'm not doing. You said
I had it all set up. It was all set up
wrong.
Actually for once. I had it all nice. It was like all fine. I pinched my hand, broke the pop filter, made a bunch of noise. I didn't get to tell my story about how I stole all of Adriano's possessions and stole them and sold them. But I don't know how well board games would do secondhand due to the fear, even though you would say that they're incomplete, due to the fear that they're not.
I agree, but I just mean like you would essentially inherit hundreds of dollars of board games.
Yes.
Not that you would have an extra value of hundreds of dollars of board games.
No, yes.
Yeah. And Adriano's probably meticulous. He's probably got all his stuff.
I'm sure he has it all, but I mean, it's the buyer's problem. Like they would be afraid.
The last puzzle I bought at that toy show was missing a couple pieces.
I mean, admittedly, it was from like the 60s or 70s.
It was 40 years old, yeah.
Yeah, so like, Jesus.
But the one I bought the other time, that had all the pieces.
There you go.
Yep. All right, this is episode 259. I'm your host, Ryan Johnson, Matt Lawrence. Top stories include Ninja making his way to Mixer.
Heck yeah.
Pretty big news. Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo will start disclosing loot box odds. Rocket League is ditching loot boxes. The controversy over Rockstar's work habits is apparently getting better. And Take-Two posts $299 million in profits thanks to GTA Online and Red Dead Online.
And I lost my pop filter again.
Because you got to put it on the bottom.
That's so outrageous.
You don't even need it. It's not gonna. How many P's you plan on saying during this episode?
I yell all the time, and now I'm bumping the mic.
Okay, Matt.
Look at this.
Take the thing and put it. Oh my lord! Wait, can I come over there and fix it?
Yeah, please do. Yeah, please.
Tell a joke to the audience.
Tell a joke. So one time, I had my microphone all set up, and then Ryan goes, "Just turn that thing there and make sure it's the right way around." So look what you're doing to me. Now you're gonna poke me in the gut. I had it all set up. It was perfect. No, it was perfect. I just couldn't see you, but it was perfect. It was functionally fine. I should have CGI'd you in front of me.
All right, how's that? There
That's
you
right.
go.
Yeah,
See?
there you go.
Jeez.
But anyway,
What were you talking about?
well, we were about to jump into the big story, like the first story, rather.
No. We missed the.
What are we
new?
doing?
What's
What are we
new?
doing? Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt.
We did a hell of a lot of 76.
We have been doing a lot of 76.
We had to do that Meat Week event.
Yeah.
And so you guys got the outfit. So there's like the bloody outfit, the bloody hat, and then there's like the black clean hat, chef's hat. And you got two of them and you couldn't trade it to me because it's listed as an Atomic Shop item in the inventory. So I had to keep playing, and I had to play like a whole day with you, and I still didn't get it. You actually left. I did a couple more rounds, and I ended up getting it. Got a lot of script from that, though, which was good. Got a lot of experience. So, I mean, it was worth it. I like the fact that it was every hour on the hour across all servers because it kind of brought everyone together. Everyone knew when it was.
Even though it's kind of like a dull event, like you don't really do much when you're there.
No, but it's a good starting point. Like I think that the timed things like that are a cool idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it felt more like they're just like a thing you can choose to run.
Yes.
When they say it happens on the hour,
you know when it is.
That creates more demand to go do it.
Exactly. Like otherwise, you're just like, man, I better server hop, or like, I wonder if this event's going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it takes the lottery out of it. It's just like, no, this event will be here at the top of the hour.
Yeah.
So that was really good. I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of legendaries that I ended up scrapping because they were lower, and a bunch of stuff to do. Weird thing about that game. So we're kind of playing it quite a bit, like we said, and so I've been like, okay, I kind of want to learn a little bit of the meta. I don't want to get super into it, but I want to learn a bit of it. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go and try to figure out what people have these weapons that just melt people. And so I said, okay, I got 2 of them. I got one really good melee, one really good big gun, like this Gatling laser. I got 2 of them actually. So I thought to myself, I'm like, okay, well, I always get these legendaries and I don't know what's the good effects really at the end of the day. Like some of them are obviously good, but I don't know what the good combo, I guess, is. So like, what should I be looking for? Look it up on YouTube. Can't seem to find anything. Just tried to look up weapons. Can't really seem to find anything. I was trying to figure out what good armor to wear. Like power armors make sense. Like power armor's easy. There's not a million sets, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't find anything on like the regular armor is what I'm talking about. Couldn't really find anything on the regular armor. And like everyone seems to have the same build, which is weird. Like I don't know where they're getting this meta from, unless I'm supposed to be looking at websites for builds and then they tell me what weapon to get. But I can't seem to get like. Everyone always seems to be using 2-shot explosive. I can't seem to get that. I have a couple explosive guns, and they don't really do that well, which is weird. Like, and they sell for a bunch. Like, people are selling the same ones I have for thousands of caps, but they're not that good. Like, I've bought them before to see, and they're not good.
One thing I've noticed that people do on Twitch when they're fighting the Scorch Beast Queen is they'll have like a bleeding weapon.
Yeah,
or what I think that was what they're called.
I have that one. Yeah,
that's the one that does more damage to lower your health, right?
Yes.
And so they'll get ratted up a bunch until their health is really low.
Yeah.
And then they'll have that perk on where you can like dodge bullets when your health is low. And then they'll have that gun that does extra damage when your health is low. And so they run into battle like that. It's crazy. And that way when they heal, it doesn't overheal past the level because the radiation
are keeping
is
the maximum health down.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting.
And they all seem to have like that extra high jumping perk on too, which I've never seen actually, so I'm not sure how they're doing that.
I actually think that's actually a mutation.
Oh, okay.
And so you can actually find them at quite a few player shops. It's reasonably rare. I'd say it's about moderately rare. But there are like I believe that's one of the I don't know if it's the speed one or what it is, but I think it is one of the mutations. Because I just started looking at those, just kind of started touching on those now. The thing is that each mutation, or so far from what I've seen on the wiki, does have a negative effect attached to it. Mm-hmm. And so I think with the one that we need, and I'm pulling this from memory, so I could be wrong, is that I believe it's 20% more food and water need. Like you'll be thirsty 20% faster and hungry 20% faster.
Why do you need that one though?
No, like that is a side effect of having this other perk.
The jump one?
Yeah. So I mean, for better or worse, I don't know. I mean,
like these people are running into the Scorch Beast Queen area with no power armor on and just firing away and not getting hurt.
See, this is one of these things that happens in MMOs where I have a problem with doing stuff like this, and it's because it's unrealistic. It's like what I should be doing is suiting up more. Mm-hmm. I'm going into this really crazy area. I should be putting on a rad suit of some sort. I should be putting on a set of.
But they've found some way around the gameplay.
Yeah, and then it's so good that everyone does it, and then it's like.
And then I think the developers feel like they shouldn't take it away because so many people are using it and liking it.
And these people developed a method. Like it's not like they cheated.
Yeah,
they developed a method, and so now it feels cheap. Now it's just like, well, I guess I'll just do what everyone else does, or be literally like 100% worse.
Right.
Which sucks. So I don't know. I don't know what to do about my guns or my
I noticed
armor.
that some people just keep running the Scorch Beast Queen. I think we need to start doing that a little more.
Like just do nukes and then. Yeah.
But I need some supplies. I need a lot of supplies.
What do you mean?
Just ammo and stuff.
I always keep that stuff up. Like, I literally had so much junk the other day. Like I told you, I spent, like, when I joined the server, I was like, man, I gotta freaking sell some of this.
But just last time I went through that, I was running out of supplies.
Like, what do you mean though? Like, what do you like?
Ammo. I was running out of ammo for my guns.
Because you're with me though. Like, you're with me, running around with me.
Yeah.
Do you not have like a bunch of junk to make ammo though? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I do all the time.
I do, but it's not enough.
It's not enough.
I fly through ammo. Yeah.
Jesus, what are you doing?
Shooting.
I use a melee weapon more most of the time.
That's what you do. Yeah. I'm using guns though. Because you have a really good melee weapon though.
I have the one that I should have according to these builds. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else, Matt?
Days Gone, actually. So
I just checked. I don't have that trophy for the nitrous and the drifting, so I never got that either.
I don't have that, but I did see that there's a nitrous upgrade if I get to level 3 in Diamond Lake, which is Captain things. So I don't want to spoil.
If I recall, my bike was fully upgraded.
I don't know how much I can spoil. You know, okay, I'm putting up a spoiler alert now because I don't think
anyone cares about Days
I'm going to start. Well, I've said the name of a camp, but I didn't say what happens and stuff. So,
yeah.
But like, so I'm putting up a spoiler alert now. So basically, I've completed. So last night, so I'm basically trying to get the trophy. So I beat the game, or the platinum trophies. I beat the game. There's actually a lot of story missions left, and I don't know. Are you going to go back to it?
There's that. I only had a handful. When it wasn't really like story missions, it was just kind of like go talk to Boozer again or something like that.
No, like they show up.
Oh, I didn't see that. No.
So like I was playing for like an hour or two, and then this is a major spoiler. O'Brien called me and said, "You have to come meet me."
Oh yeah, I got that one. Yeah.
Did you go meet him?
Yeah.
And he's infected.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's actually like something I was like, oh fuck. Now I have a question about that. I don't know what he means by the higher ups knew, and I just thought I'd warn you. Does that mean we're all infected, or is Nero infected with a strain that they're controlling?
We're the Walking Dead.
Like, why did he just get onto the? You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, wouldn't Nero be like, "Fuck, you can't allow O'Brien back. He's all screwed up."
I think, from what I can tell, was it Nero trying to develop like some sort of super soldier type of deal?
Well, I would assume, but
and so
are they still doing that?
Maybe.
But then who the hell is there to kill?
O'Brien was fine. He was an intelligent, conscious, infected guy.
Intelligent, but like really screwed up. Like he seemed
physically.
to be in pain.
Oh,
like he was like at one point. Like he was like, oh, he's all fucked up.
Well, I don't know, but it appears that everyone in the camps are not infected.
No,
because they've been living there for a couple of years now.
Correct.
And not infected.
No one's infected.
So someone is infecting humans. All right.
And that's why the higher ups were so like hush hush. And then they said he said something like they're coming for you.
For Deacon St. John?
Like for you as in like the drifters. Like the drifters and the survivors, like they're coming and there's nothing you could do to stop it.
Mm.
Now, but the thing is I don't know whether that means, like I'm pulling this from memory, so like I might want to rewatch that cutscene, but I don't know whether that means that Nero is coming, like for like they're gonna, now they have super soldiers, they're gonna take over everything. Whether or not that means they're coming for like the survivors because they're healthy and they need like some like people to test on or something, I don't know. Or whether that means they're going to like just like literally wipe everything out.
Yeah,
like freaks and everything.
Is Nero not interested in like restoring the world? Or now that
that's the question.
Now like, that they're the only major force in the world. It's like, or I guess the United States at least. You know, maybe they have interest in not restoring the world because they're in control now.
Well,
they're at the top.
Did you hear Radio Free Oregon right after?
No, I don't.
He was saying that the Fed, for some reason he's like the feds are coming for us, and he's like, and we're fucking ready. And I was like, oh shit, like shit's going down.
But he's been saying stuff like that the whole time.
But like it was weird. He was like talking about how he saw the choppers, then they disappeared, and then he saw one more recently, but it was like just one or whatever, like they were less. And then he said the feds are coming for us, and it's time for us to like hold our ground or something. You know,
but he does comment on the choppers throughout the game as well. Though.
Yes.
So I'm not sure if he knows something.
But
he's just always been afraid of the feds.
Well, he always says like if you saw them, like don't associate with them, don't ally with them.
Yeah.
You know, and he said, oh, one of you guys is allied with them. But the thing is like this time it seemed very like direct, like they are coming for us, get ready. It's like how the hell would he know?
Yeah.
So I'm excited for a sequel, honestly. Like this is kind of sequel material. I haven't gone and talked to the rest of the camp. Like I have 2 more story missions, but
as far as I can tell, I think it sold well from what I saw. Just like them posting, like, oh,
the user reviews were good.
Yeah, so I imagine it will get a sequel.
Because people said, like, what type of story were you expecting? Like, that was one of the things is, and I think this was...
I think it's because of the other first-party Sony titles
Right.
are so known for their story.
Yeah.
That this was a bit of a letdown compared to those ones. Like, even Spider-Man was pretty good. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, to me, though, is, like, with Spider-Man, it has, like, a track to follow. And all they need to do is hit the beats well and present the beats well. But with Spider-Man, it's always, like, the same sort of thing. It's like, oh, a villain, and now there's villains. You know what I mean? Like, it's always, like, the same. Whereas with a zombie game, if this was just a zombie game, it would have been like, okay, this is like pretty standard story.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that this game, I would actually blame it on the promotion, on the promos, because I noticed that whenever they talked about the game, they hyped it up really high.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I watched 1 or 2 interviews, and I was like, this game's getting too hyped. I'm going to stop because I'm going to get too hyped, think it's going to be too good, and it's going to let me down.
Game Informer had that 45-minute playthrough like a year before the game release.
I watched that.
That was nuts.
That's the intro with Boozer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But you have to admit, like the writing's bad.
Hilariously
and the
bad,
acting
though.
is bad.
Well, that was the thing.
I'd say like the only good actor in that was like Ricky.
Yeah, honestly.
Everyone else was generally pretty bad.
Iron Mike was okay.
Yeah, he was all right, yeah.
Because Iron Mike is kind of like he's like that kind of dude where he's kind of like really moral and shit.
Yeah.
Carlos was okay too, actually. Carlos was pretty fucked.
Who's Carlos?
Carlos is the Ripper's guy. His name is Jesse, technically. He used to run with the
but he was just like a typical kind of bad guy. That's not hard to act, I don't think. Right?
But he was crazy. He was a cult leader. He was crazy.
Yeah.
And he had those sermons, and he was crazy.
Yeah.
Boozer is fantastic.
Boozer's bad. Boozer's real bad.
If there's a statue of Boozer at Fan Expo, I'm buying that. It's Boozer is hilarious.
I don't think there's going to be a statue of Boozer.
My favorite. I told I told you that my favorite mission in the game was. So actually, really brief aside. Last week, I was discussing how stupid like the military camp was like a couple weeks ago, and I hated the writing. But at some point, I was like, you know what? This is just a dumb story, and I'm just gonna embrace this like an old like 80s 90s movie, where I'm just gonna say like this is a dumb story. Like it's competent enough, but it's like it's not like a Shakespearean like masterpiece. But one of my favorite things was my story got interrupted briefly by me driving out pretty far actually from the military camp to go to that radio tower to call up Boozer.
Oh yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah. All right. What have I been doing, Matt?
Playing Days Gone and getting that trophy.
No, I haven't booted up Days Gone. Been doing the updates. I've been doing the 76. I finished Wolfenstein.
Oh wow.
The New Order.
The first of the newer ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty good, and I downloaded the second one.
Okay.
So I want to play through that, but I got this big mess behind me right now. So
I heard that new one with the twins is terrible.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad I didn't buy that.
It's pretty sad.
The only positive is I think it's like a Far Cry New Dawn type of deal, where it's just like a bare bones kind of side thing they made.
Well, I want to know what they mean by terrible.
In between the main releases, I mean.
Like, do they mean the gameplay is terrible? Like, I haven't seen what they said is terrible. I've only seen headlines.
I think it's kind of like a shared world. Well, not a shared world shooter, but like a co-op shooter, kind of like Borderlands. Something to that effect, or like The Division or something. But it's only co-op, and you like run these missions and you do different things, and you go back to the base, and then you choose another mission, you go do that. It's something like that.
Yeah, I'm out.
Apparently, it's not good. Yeah, so
definitely out on that.
Yeah. But the second one got really good reviews.
What about the expansion?
The Old Blood?
Old Blood.
I had that downloaded too, but I haven't started it.
Because I bought them on that QuakeCon sale or whatever.
Amazing sale, by the way.
Yeah, so
I bought a ton of stuff.
I bought Fallout 3 because I only have the discs. So I bought Fallout 3, the complete whatever edition, and then I bought Fallout 3, the first of the new Wolfensteins, and Old Blood, and then that was enough for me because I'm like the chances of me even getting through these are probably slim, but it's a good price.
And then that's it. Bought another HomePod.
Yeah, that's outrageous. It's like $500 almost.
$400.
It's still ridiculous. Wait, 400 Canadian?
Yeah.
It's still ridiculous.
I want a stereo.
No.
All right, let's hop into the stories. The big news of the last couple of weeks was Ninja leaving Twitch
For Mixer.
for Microsoft's Mixer. This comes to us from The Verge. Tyler Ninja Blevins. So he was the biggest name in Fortnite and probably the most popular on Twitch.
He was a big boy, that's for sure.
The PewDiePie of Twitch.
He was pretty big.
So yeah, he left Twitch to stream exclusively on Mixer. And this came with like a video that he like released called The Next Chapter or something like that. Anyway, how do you feel about this move?
It's interesting. I learned some interesting things about Twitch.
About Twitch, yeah.
So, like, I'm listening. Now, my source is the H3 podcast, and I'm also pulling this from memory, so. But, like, I'm just saying, like, please fact check before you, like, start accusing Twitch of stuff. But the thing is, like, so from what I've gathered from the H3 podcast was that when you're at that level, like Ninja was, whether that's a partner or even above that, maybe there's some sort of rank, I'm not sure, but you're high up in Twitch. They'll actually, like, talk to you about stuff, and they'll be like, well, we'd actually like you normally stream 7 hours average or whatever, but you only did 6 this month average. We'd like you back at 7. We're going to have to take some money away per view or like whatever like per sub or whatever the unit of measure is on Twitch. And so I always thought that was strange I thought that it would always be that you'd reach a certain point, and so you'd have like a support person that you would talk to because if you have a problem, you need to be live.
Mm-hmm.
But I never thought they could do that with like it almost sounds like each person's getting paid differently per like sub or per view or whatever it is, like whatever the unit of measure is on Twitch.
Yeah.
But that's very strange to me. Like I never thought they could or would do that. And then I was also told that I saw at first that they removed his verified, like they removed Ninja's verified check mark or whatever immediately.
That's weird.
And they removed his sub button. And then the H3 guy was telling me that they did that to them because they started streaming on YouTube. They went back. And they did that just so that they would have to re-sign up to get his money because they'll hold your money hostage.
Wow.
That you have like left down Twitch.
Yeah.
So apparently they're just being like petty AF, as the kids would say.
So the streaming thing, I heard that as well through like people on Twitter saying that sometimes it's like if you just want to take a vacation, it's like you're going to lose your income. Even if you take like 2 days off or something.
But see, I don't get that because you're supposed to be being paid per month via the subs. So like when you leave, like why isn't it just because like Tim was saying that like he stopped streaming for a while and some of the subs that he had were continuing and he was still being paid that.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the questions is why is it that when you get bigger, like, do they touch those subs or are they talking about something else? Like, is it like a share of the donations? And so maybe the subs is standard. Cause you know what I'm trying to say, right? It's like, it's very strange for like one streamer, let's say to make like every sub is $5 a month. Let's say it's very strange for one streamer to make 70% of that. And the other streamer who's at the same tier, let's say, only gets paid 40%. That's weird to me. But it could be something else like the dynamic income, like the donations or something.
I would have to imagine that like that money goes to Twitch and then they pay the streamer.
Probably, yeah.
Right. So maybe somewhere they are allowed to control
the bits, maybe
the money.
But like, so if you take a vacation, because like what Tim said, he left for a while and then he was still getting that income like a residual. So would they literally receive nothing? And that's also a question too, is are these people making more money from bits and or donations? And if they are, yes, you're going to lose your income because no one's going to pay you for not being there.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. But if Twitch is doing this thing where they say, and I'm speculating, if they do this thing where they say, okay, this guy gets this much per sub, this guy gets a different amount per sub, and they're in the same tier, that's strange to me. Like, that almost seems unfair. But I guess it's like a business dealing? I don't know. That's weird. Like, oh, you didn't stream enough. Like, you're going to pay you less. Like, what kind of crap is that?
It's very strange. But I would imagine that his move to Mixer is giving him a lot more freedom.
I'm sure because he's new and
they probably paid him a huge chunk of change just to go exclusively to Mixer.
I was speculating whether it's like he got paid to switch or whether he was given something like, hey, we won't take a share for like the first year, and so you just get everything that you get?
I think he got paid. I think Microsoft's the kind of company that'd be like, we're going to pay you. Here's a $10 million deal for the next,
I was thinking.
for the next 5 years. You're exclusively on Mixer or something like that.
Oh, I thought it was going to be $1 million a month for a year.
They'd probably give him some big signing bonus, I think. But there would be minimum requirements of like, we want you to at least stream like, you know, certain amount, yeah, per month.
Which would probably be within his normal amount anyway. Because he already streams so much that you can't really ask more of him.
Yeah.
Because he goes to events and such.
And it did seem to work out for him because he had more Twitch. And now this was his big debut on Mixer, so obviously it's going to be inflated above his average.
Right.
But he had more viewers on Mixer the first time than he did on Twitch.
What's interesting about that is that Mixer is...
And like 1 million subs, I think it was.
Well, like are subs are the subs the same as Twitch?
I don't know how they work on Mixer.
But I know that when I went to his... he wasn't live, but I went to his like stream page at the time. It was something like claim like a 1 month sub for free. And so I wonder if that was a part of the deal too, where he was like, because right now, or on Twitch, he was making a lot of his money from the Twitch Prime. And so that would be the equivalent of at least 1 month of Twitch Prime. I wonder if like they offered that, because there's no Twitch Prime thing on Mixer as far as I know.
Yeah.
So like I wonder how many subs he's going to have after that free month. Because people would go there, get their free month, and just give it to him.
Right.
Because it's free.
Or maybe the jargon's different too. Maybe a subscriber is simply like, look at what it is on YouTube.
I'm pretty sure
you're not paying money, but you're just following.
Well, I know for sure when I like I said, when I was on his page, it said one free sub this month, like 1 free month.
Okay.
Sub. So.
Yeah. Anyway, this is what Ninja had to say. He said, "I've been holding on to this for quite some time, and I'm just super excited to let everyone know I'll be streaming on Mixer full time now, and I'm honestly at a loss for words. I'm freaking out in the best ways. I feel like I'm going to get back to the streaming roots." He goes on to say that his streams will be the exact same, so don't expect Ninja to go away from Fortnite anytime soon. There you go. It'd be great, though, if they were like, we want you to stream Gears of War 5, please.
Jesus, yeah. Gears of War 5 only. And, like, where's your Halo content, bud?
We do Forza on Friday.
Yeah, Forza Fridays. One of the questions is I wonder if they're going to try to get Ninja's sort of gang over. Like Tim the Tatman and all those guys, all those fellas.
Apparently, they had hired some other guy from Twitch to stream exclusively. I can't remember his name, but yeah, I think they're doing this now because Mixer, I guess, wasn't doing too great, and so they need to start getting talent over on there.
Yeah.
And Microsoft has the change to do it, so
yeah,
that's what they're doing.
When I was on there, I kind of poked around, and it was kind of late, so there wasn't many people on. But I was kind of just poking around Fallout 76 and other things. And there's like a whole bunch of engagement stuff. There was I have a bunch of these like lightning bolt things. It's like almost like a currency, and I can like do certain stuff. So like some guy had like, I could click a dance up button for a certain amount of the lightning bolt, and that did something. I don't know what that does. But like, I mean, it seems the interaction is more, like there's more things to do. Because some people
you can do stuff on Twitch though.
Well, but some people have like no interaction stuff at all, and this guy had like a menu in Mixer where I was like, what is this? And it was like a mosaic of buttons. I could do different things. I was like, what is going on here?
All right, moving on. So according to the ESA, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo will start disclosing loot box odds. This comes to us from Kotaku, and they're saying the Entertainment Software Association has announced that Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony will be required to implement new policies requiring the disclosure of all loot box odds for games on their platform. I'm pleased to announce this morning that Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony have indicated to ESA a commitment to new platform policies with respect to the use of paid loot boxes in games that are developed for their platforms. Specifically, this would apply to new games and game updates that add loot box features, and it would require the disclosure of the relative rarity or probabilities of obtaining randomized virtual items in games that are available on their platforms. They also stated that major publishers like Activision Blizzard, Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Bungie, Electronic Arts, Take-Two Interactive, Ubisoft, and Warner Bros. Have also agreed to implement a similar disclosure policy no later than the end of 2020.
This is a part of this Congress thing looking into loot boxes? Is this them behind closed doors being like, you need to do something or we're gonna act?
Who?
Remember Congress or whatever was looking at.
I don't think this is Congress. I think this is them trying to self-police before Congress comes in and decides to police them.
Can't Congress meet with like not all of Congress, but I don't really know how that would work.
I don't think it's high on their priority list right now.
I have no idea what's going on down there, but like, what like could it have been like? I'm sure they have a person from Congress that could have met with these big guys.
Yeah.
Like one person or a team or something.
Yeah.
And they could have met with them and been like, you guys got to do something. And
Maybe.
so this is one of their ideas, because it kind of seems weird that they're all just like, yeah, okay, let's do it. You know what I mean?
Right. But I think they probably think that the probability thing isn't going to damage sales of loot boxes. Because right now, I already know it's super rare to get the item I want out of a loot box.
Right.
And I've bought some. You know what I mean?
What type of odds are we talking about too? Like if for like Overwatch, for example, is it just? It's not going to be the odds per item. It's going to be the odds per item type, like legendary or
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what's going to.
I don't know if it's an improvement.
More information is always an improvement.
I was going to say it sounds like it would be an improvement, but I don't know what it improves. If that makes sense. Like, what does it help? It doesn't really help anything.
Simply, transparency.
Sure. Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to affect sales. You know, someone's not going to be like, "Oh, only the 5% chance. Screw this." I think they're going to.
I would say it might be that way.
People go to casinos and gamble away their money.
But is there a percent chance there?
Yeah.
There's a percent chance written down somewhere.
Sometimes. Well, I don't know if there's written down, but
so then it would be the same as loot boxes, though, right? You'd be like, "Oh, I could win this slot machine," but if someone told you it was a 0.02% chance,
everyone in there knows it's a super low chance.
Sure.
So just knowing the number, I don't think is really going to affect people much.
Right.
People now know the calories on their food here in Canada, at least.
Yeah.
And I don't think that affects people's eating habits.
I would say it helps people because there's a lot of guys who count.
The people who are counting their
calories,
but
like I mean that's good.
But the idea behind that is to say you only need 2,000 calories a day or whatever it is, you know. So don't get this big old hamburger that's going to add 600 calories.
Right.
So it's supposed to be a healthy thing where you start thinking more about how many calories you actually need.
Right.
But I think people are still just stuffing their faces.
I'm sure there's a bunch that would do that, considering the fact that like people were doing that before.
Yes.
Like it takes a lot for people to change.
All I'm saying is though that the showing the calories was supposed to make people make healthier choices.
Sure.
And so I think that you're going to get the same results with the loot boxes, which is not much.
I think it's helping in both cases, actually. I think it would help in both cases. I think it would stir some people away from buying a loot box, and I think it would stir some people away from a bigger hamburger.
Really?
I think so.
Do you look at the calories?
Not really, but I mean,
that
I'm a pretty large dude in general.
But even I look at them and just like, oh man, that's a lot of calories, and I eat it anyway. I like the calories being there.
Like if it was like a ridiculous amount, like if it was like 3,500, I'd be like, what in the hell?
Yeah,
like I'm not getting that.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. I don't know if they really released numbers on loot boxes, so I don't know how we'll see the results of this. You know what I mean? It's not like we sold 2 million loot boxes today.
We would see them steer away from loot boxes. That's what we'll see.
Like our next story here, Rocket League is ditching loot boxes.
But that's an older game. It was added late. They're weird.
It's still a popular game.
Yeah, but it's still an older game where they weren't in there originally, and it's a smaller game too. It's not exactly. It is going to be slowly losing players, I would assume, right? As of its age,
maybe. But anyway, again from Kotaku, Psyonix announced in a blog a couple days ago that its car soccer game Rocket League will be leaving loot boxes behind in a move aimed at creating the best possible experience for our players all over the world. The change will happen sometime before the end of the year, with a new system coming in to replace the game's existing randomized lottery. Instead of earning loot boxes by playing and then having the option of purchasing keys to open them and see what's inside, Psyonix says the new system will show players exactly what they're buying up front. The studio compared the new system to changes that happened in Fortnite Save the World earlier this year. Is anyone paying attention to what happened in Fortnite Save the World?
No, I was going to say I don't remember any sort of announced change about that.
Now I know that the battle pass in Fortnite shows you what you get, and you then have to work to get there.
Yeah, it also tells you approximately how many hours it'll take.
Yeah, I think I prefer that system better than loot boxes, but I don't like that you pay up front, and then if you don't play, you then lose access to it.
But I mean, that's the same with anything. If you buy a car and don't drive it, you wasted that money. If you buy a game and don't play it, you wasted the money.
No, but the difference is I have that car.
The difference is that you had that battle pass. You're given
the battle pass to me is nothing.
You're given the first tier rewards, your first 5 tier rewards. If it's the same as what it was back in the day.
Yeah.
So therefore, you paid and you got something.
No, but you paid.
That's probably why they do that.
You paid to. I'm just saying. I think it's a little weird to pay to unlock these challenges, and then they just disappear. Now I know that's to entice you to play the game, obviously. Right.
Yeah.
But it's just you're handing over money, and then they're taking away.
The thing is,
like,
though,
if all I want is to do is just remain open until you complete it.
No, I don't think that's like I would like that.
Yes.
As a consumer, I would like that.
That's all I'm speaking as.
No, but because they disclose everything, I wouldn't say it's greasy or anything.
No, I agree.
I wouldn't even say it's predatory because they say what's happening.
No, I agree.
That'd be like saying someone explains their scam and then you still get scammed. It's
yes.
like, well, that's stupid.
No,
like,
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I don't like it.
But you don't like it.
Yeah.
But how badly do you want to get all those skins?
Well, that's kind of the reason why you buy the battle pass.
Yeah, but could you imagine all the other skins? Like, could you imagine having a backup in which you didn't play for 4 seasons, but you kept buying all the battle passes? So now you just have like 100 skins or something to get. That'd be insane.
But then you just play through it and you unlock them.
But the game also changes, so then some of those challenges can't get done because it'd be like go to this place and that place isn't there anymore. So now you're holding the game back.
But no, it's just leveling up for the battle pass. You just had to get to like level 50 during that season or whatever, right?
No. You have to do challenges, which gives you battle stars. The battle stars go toward the battle pass.
But don't you get just stars for playing?
You get stars for leveling up.
Yeah.
You get 5 on your 5s, 10 on your 10s, and 2s on the in-betweens. You know what I mean by that? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, it's faster if you do the challenges.
Yeah, but like you would, if you get to level 100, I don't think that's enough to get the full battle pass because the battle pass is only 100 levels. Actually, it isn't enough.
Okay, well,
there's daily challenges though. You could argue that you could always do the daily challenges.
They'd have to rework it some way if it was the way I want it to be. Yes.
Like I quit doing the battle pass because of that reason that you're saying, but at the same time, I have so many skins that like I don't care.
You would have a lot at the end of the day, yeah.
I have so many that I'm not going to use them.
Overwatch has a bunch of skins too, though.
Yeah, but I don't care about those either. Like for the most part, the odd skin, sure.
I play for the skins, man.
Ugh. It's too much, man. Like see the thing is though is us playing that Graham event to get that one visual item. That was a gamble every single time. Eventually got it. That's fine. People who purchased the clean version in the Atomic Shop, quote unquote, needed that black chef's hat because that like completes their set. So they had to gamble for half of their set, right? We had to gamble for everything, but I mean, it was all free essentially at the end of the day because we didn't buy the other thing.
Kind of weird,
but because we've invested more time in it, now I'm seeing items in the Atomic Shop that I'm interested in purchasing. So now, see, it's the same as anything else. It's just a matter of we put more time into it. Now I'm more into investing into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing as a battle pass. Like it's very similar.
I just don't like that you pay for stuff that they then lock out and then disappear. That's all I'm saying.
The Atomic Shop does that.
I didn't pay for that stuff. It shows up. I can either buy it or not, and then
but if the stuff you bought that space suit, that's going to go away eventually.
Yeah, but I have it.
But that's what
No. I paid for something. Yeah. I received that item.
Yeah.
Transaction complete.
Yeah.
The battle pass, I pay for something. Sure, they give me some stuff, but then they say, "Here's all the other stuff you unlocked," but you have to unlock it again by playing the game. And if you don't unlock it within this amount of time, it's then gone.
But the game is free.
Yeah.
So that's how you pay for the game.
That's fine. I'm just saying I don't like the system. I will pay for the game in some way. Would
you pay $59.99 to get all the items?
Yeah.
You would pay $59.99 to get all the items each season.
They would make more. Oh, not each season, no. But they would make more money doing the way they're doing it now. Yes. Than if I was just buying whatever skin I wanted.
The reason why I get annoyed by Fortnite and all these timed events and crap like that. I get annoyed by stuff like this. But Fortnite to me is the least predatory. it uses all the same methods, like, you know, keeping you in there, making sure that
I'm
things
not
are limited
complaining about it
time
being
and stuff like
predatory.
that. It's just your preference.
Yes. I'm just saying I don't.
But isn't that because you think it's kind of predatory?
I don't think it's predatory. I'm just saying I think it's unfair that you pay.
That's being unfair is kind of predatory.
I don't think it, because it's like you said, they list out what you were getting when you buy that battle pass.
Yeah.
I'm saying I don't like the product.
Oh, well, then don't buy it.
Exactly. I don't buy it. But I can still complain about the product even if I buy it or not. That's all I'm doing.
Jesus.
All right. Moving on.
Moving on up.
So I think we had covered this, but back when Rockstar was coming out with Red Dead Redemption 2, a story came out about how hard some of their employees were being pushed, especially in the later days of development. And I think it was particularly with their game testers, as according to Kotaku here. But apparently Rockstar Lincoln was like a real bad place to work, especially
Lincoln.
It's a British studio there, that had the lion's share of testing for Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption. But the thing is, there were a bunch of contractors. And so I guess that means they don't have the same rights as like a full-time employee.
That's right, yeah, generally.
Right? And so I think it was those people who were being like overworked and stuff. So now, in response, Rockstar has made a lot of them full-time employees. And I guess working conditions are getting better there.
But like, I want to know what they mean by bad working conditions. Like, if they like today, it was right now they're not, as far as we know, in crunch time for any project.
Yeah,
they haven't announced any other project that's coming out, so there's nothing in crunch time, at least again as far as we know, because they usually announce and then there's actually a fair bit of time before it actually comes out.
Well, we had talked about it was a thing where they were like, you're not required to do overtime,
right?
But if you don't, you'll be fired.
That was epic.
But that was also at Rockstar too, I think.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought at Rockstar they just didn't, like, you would be kind of looked down upon by your coworkers, but that's just a social thing. That's not Rockstar doing it. That's I didn't know that you'd be fired at Rockstar.
In any case, they were pushing their employees harder during crunch time, and I understand.
But I mean,
crunch
time though.
Yes, but there's a limit.
The limit's 100 hours a week.
I don't know what they're working now. All right.
Like there comes a question where it's like, why don't you just hire more people? And then there comes a question of like, well, workers' rights. So the problem is that if you're trying to improve working conditions with workers' rights, which increases the cost per employee, then having those extra workers to offer the right of going home essentially becomes less viable, because you can't hire more people without investing more money, and then that's eating into your profit. Because it's not like people just think, well, just hire a night shift, right? Yeah. So you just one days, one nights, whatever. But then we're talking about employee rights and stuff like that. So each employee is actually costing money, not only the salary, but the fact that they have a certain environment and whatever. So I don't know what to feel. It would definitely be a problem, in my opinion, if they're working like absolute crazy all the time. But if it was 2 weeks of hell,
I think it's longer than
every
that,
like 7 years or something, I don't think that's too outrageous. Because it's like, oh, we had 2 heavy weeks and then that was it. So it's like, okay, well,
I think it was much longer than 2 weeks.
Crunch time? I have no idea.
Yeah.
All right, even if it was a month, let's say.
Maybe a few months. Maybe the last year of development.
I don't think it'd be a year, in my opinion. But
could be if you're a tester.
I don't think it'd be a year, in my opinion. I don't work there.
No, but if they spend 7 years developing it,
yeah,
the last year being crunch time,
but
is
you'd be
proportional.
testing. You'd be testing throughout. Like you'd be testing throughout. So like stuff would be solved throughout the process.
Yes, but come crunch time, when everyone's sending you 100 different things to test.
I have one problem. One problem with this argument. And that is that I'm not saying I'm against workers' rights or anything, but what, you know how like there was like that when this controversy when Red Dead 2 first released, this controversy came out, people were freaking out on Twitter and whatever. And they said like, remember then Rockstar released a statement clarifying, saying like, no, a lot of the places weren't actually working all that crazily hours, and it was the big bosses of the project that were working the crazy hours. There was one guy in particular they mentioned that worked like 100 hours, and people said, well, that's okay. Is that okay? Like, why is it okay that he works 100 hours then? But he's rich though. Oh, so he's rich, so he's allowed to work 100 hours?
But that wasn't
what kind of bullshit is that?
That wasn't the consensus of the overall community though.
But
yes,
people,
you can point out the few people on Twitter who said it's okay for some rich guy to work.
I would argue that the movement was more for the worker and less for that executive guy. I would actually say that they don't care about him. I got that impression. It wasn't said
to a lesser
directly.
Extent,
I got
maybe.
that impression.
To a lesser extent, maybe, but they also have, the higher up you are, the more control you have over your own hours, and the higher you're paid.
But so if we paid those people more, it's okay. Paid them more per hour, it's okay that they are forced to work 100 hours?
I don't know.
See, in my opinion, and again, it was an impression I got. It wasn't said outright in most cases. An impression I got was that it was like, oh, well, the big guy worked 100 hours? Okay.
But he can choose to do that.
No, he can't.
Yes,
he cannot.
Yes, he can.
If that project's not going to be able to come out, if they have to delay Red Dead again because he didn't pull 100 hours, he would get fired.
But then that's his mismanagement.
He would get fired.
Then he deserves it. If he mismanaged the time,
that's
a fault.
That is an outrageous statement.
No,
what you
not.
just said there.
If you're
so you want the employees
stop.
to work less and the executives to work more.
No, the executive could work better if he actually managed the time properly.
I disagree because the project is so large. How are you supposed to anticipate everything that's going to happen?
You can't.
So then how can you manage the time more properly?
I don't know.
People were still allowed to go home. It's not like they were like sleeping out, as far as I know. It was camping out.
Well, in the Epic case, they were under threat of being fired.
The Epic case is a constant ongoing thing. That I disagree with. It's because Fortnite is or was at that time when the story broke always in a state of crunch time, whereas Red Dead is out of crunch because it's out. So then that's it. Like, full stop. That's it. So like I'm just questioning. I'm questioning this because I think it's one-sided.
Okay, but if you think it's okay that these people are being forced to work longer,
why
are they then trying to rectify that?
No, I don't think it's okay necessarily. I'm saying that I would prefer it to be a fair judgment across the board.
The public doesn't matter.
What?
The public doesn't matter in this case.
What do you mean?
Their opinions on the working environment doesn't necessarily matter. What matters are the workers.
This could be a case of...
So don't take the biases of the audience when judging how the company should act.
Well, that's why I said that's the impression I got.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have in writing. That's what happened. But I would say that this could be a case of a manager needed the extra help, manager, executive, whatever sort of admin team needed the help. They have this amount of budget. They budget it out. They determine that contractors are the cheapest, and they can work more or whatever the rights are. So they hire contractors. Rockstar, the top boys, don't know about it. All of a sudden, they find out, right, because of this controversy, and they say, hey, we don't actually want that. And so they just hire them full time.
Right.
It could be something as simple as that, where it's like, oh, we didn't realize they were contractors. Let's hire them on. Because how many studios? Like, I didn't even know they had a studio in the UK.
I think they're mainly a UK.
Rockstar?
Aren't they?
I have no idea.
Let's check that
I never really thought of it, to be honest. I know there's a Rockstar Toronto. I think there was a Rockstar Vancouver or something. I believe there's one in America somewhere. But I never really thought of it. I just know they're massive.
Okay, hang on, let me look them up here.
What are you looking up, like where the studios are?
Yeah.
I always thought that the main studio was in America. I didn't really think they had much in the UK. Do they have like a home office listed or something?
Rockstar Games Inc. is an American video game publisher.
There you go.
Based in New York City.
So Rockstar Games, and then there's...
Rockstar Studios, I think.
Yeah, because what else do they publish?
Rockstar Canada, later renamed Rockstar Toronto.
Yeah. So like the question is regardless of the question, I'm not saying that people should be worked to death or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is that if it was 2 weeks of hell for a massive project that is arguably one of the better games out there, to me that's acceptable. If we're getting up to the point where it's like a year, I think that's unacceptable. If we're getting to the point where like people are having to sleep in the office, I think that's unacceptable.
So they have Rockstar International, which is in London, Rockstar Leeds in Leeds, England, Rockstar Lincoln, which is in Lincoln, England, Rockstar London, Rockstar New England. Oh, that's in the U.S. Rockstar North in Scotland.
You see what I'm
So
saying?
a lot of their studios are in the UK.
Okay, so they're big over in Europe, kind of thing, in Britain.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, at the end of the day, though, still, they still have a lot of staff and a lot of offices. So like things like a testing team are going to slip through the cracks. Were the workers the one complaining, or was this an online outrage?
I don't recall. I'm trying to look up.
Like, it was just people reading an article and being like, "This is ridiculous," but the people were like, "Hey, it was voluntary overtime, and I did it because it was the last 2 weeks." Because if it's the last 2 weeks of a project and they volunteered and they got a big old payment.
They were working mandatory overtime for a year.
But how much? Like, if it's an hour every day, then who cares?
They're working frequently working nights and weekends to the point they'd be working 12 hours a day without a break.
See, like that, I don't agree with. See, like that, I'm not
Rockstar confirmed these things did happen.
Okay, well, then that I'm not aboard with. See, I was a part of the Twitter flurry where I just kind of saw the Twitter stuff and was like, well, this is like all like gunked up.
See, is the problem with my biggest problem with Twitter is it makes it sound like everything is 10 times worse than it is.
Yeah, because people were freaking out. I was like, I don't think it's that bad, because like employees would be quitting and saying, hey, like we need to, like this is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Although I will say, like a lot of tech companies in general,
yes, but
do get a bad. Not a bad work environment, but they get a bad amount of hours, a lot of hours.
Yes, but we're trying to make those environments better, though. Just because it's a norm in the industry doesn't mean it should be the norm.
No, I agree. So. I with the actual facts you just said there, I disagree with those conditions.
Yeah. So Rockstar is also experimenting with flex time, allowing workers to shift when they do their assigned work hours. So anyway, at least they're trying to fix it.
Shift what?
When they do their assigned work hours. So they said, let's say you got to do 8 hours of work on this week or whatever. They can choose when to do it, I guess, within that week or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, with all that aside, Take-Two had posted $299 million of profit thanks to GTA Online and Red Dead Redemption Online in-game spending. This comes to us from The Hollywood Reporter.
I honestly thought it'd be more than that.
$300 million?
I thought it'd be more than that.
That's more than most games make, I think.
For some reason, I thought it'd be closer to 500.
That's just off of their online services, not even the sale of the game.
Yeah, I guess that's very true, because you have to pay for those games.
Yeah. And I think GTA 5 is the single best-selling piece of entertainment in history.
Makes sense.
That's nuts. And it's still making them tons of money. It's still always showing up as like one of the best-selling games like every month, which is insane.
It still takes Twitch top spot
I bought
sometimes.
it the other week on freaking PC.
Damn it.
Crazy.
I was playing it the other day.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
The casino, the Diamond
I played it like a couple days ago, though, like even after that. Like I was playing it then.
The majority of the revenue over the period was generated by recurring consumer spending.
It's a good question as to who... If everyone's being overworked, or like that's the Twitter impression I get in general. Not this is outside of the Rockstar case now. Mm-hmm. But like if everyone's being overworked, just in general across all industries, as a general statement.
Okay.
I'm talking about in general. Like I hear a lot of complaining about people across all industries saying they work too much. If that's the case, they're spending a hell of a lot of money in these games and spending a lot of time in these games. It's weird. Like, I'm wondering, see, the problem with, you're right here, and this is the kind of the point I guess I'm trying to make, is that Twitter gives an impression that doesn't always line up correctly. Like, someone could be complaining, I work too much, then if you saw their work schedule, it's like they had 4 days off that week. It's like, what? What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. So, but because you're getting someone's words, like, you're almost like eavesdropping on a conversation.
Right.
And I think that's the problem. Because, like, I'll complain and, like, pump something up, but it took me, like, an hour. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's why I hate it when the news covers Twitter, because there'll be some controversy in the news, right? And it's a valid controversy, let's say, right? Or maybe, no, it's not a valid controversy. Let's just say it's something that, like, someone got misinterpreted in what they said. They apologized for it, and that would be it, right? But Twitter makes it sound like when you read someone's tweet complaining about that controversy. Yeah. When you read it, you instantly get the impression, oh my God, this person thinks that's the worst thing that's ever happened in the world.
Yes, yeah.
And they will go until their dying day to yell and scream about it.
Yes.
That's my first impression when I see someone complaining on Twitter. And it's wrong because that person goes on their day and doesn't think about it again. They sent the tweet.
Yeah.
And then they go get a coffee and they talk with their friends and laugh and hang out.
Yeah.
But my impression is
like they're
fuming. They're in their room fuming
out
about it. And it's not true. And so Twitter is just this big facade of anger, you know.
Well, it's because you're getting that one-off where I'll be like, man, I'm getting screwed over at work. Like I could be talking to you guys, man, I'm getting screwed over at work, and then I'll say on Monday I had trouble for 2 hours, but the tweet was, man, I'm getting screwed over at work.
Right.
Full stop. That's all you get. You don't get any context.
Right.
You don't get any tone because I didn't say it.
Right.
Right. I just typed it, and the thing is because it's like that. I belittle issues when I read them on Twitter because I always think like, oh, this is too extreme. I'm going to knock it down. And then sometimes I knock it down too much.
Yeah. This is why on social media, I don't tend to follow people as much as I do companies. Because it's the people, because the companies are just putting out their normal PR stuff. Same stuff you see on the newspaper or on TV ads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just PR stuff, just promoting their businesses.
Yeah.
But people are the ones who sensationalize things, you know? And so I don't follow them as much. They still show up because Twitter wants me to read their damn things.
Well, and they also reply and stuff like that if you click into a tweet.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's anything wrong with people like tweeting out and stuff like that. I just think that I don't want this to get political. Like I feel like it. The problem is we're getting too many voices heard, and everyone was just like everyone has a voice. Okay, that's nice, but like. If I was thinking to myself, man, I need to buy a new USB stick, I don't go to a forum of America and then compare it to the forum of Canada and all of like South America and whatever other continents. Like, you know what I mean? I just kind of go like, oh, I know a guy who works at Best Buy. I'll ask him. You know what I mean? I asked one person, but like when you go to Twitter, you kind of like about a different thing. You're getting like this this mosaic of, and it skews. Like if you were super popular on Twitter and you posted that question, you had a lot of engagement, the whole bit, and you posted that question, I'm going to buy a USB stick. You get like 500 answers.
Oh yeah.
And it'd be crazy. And then if you bought the one, people would be like, you're an idiot for buying that one. It's like it's a freaking USB stick, man.
Yeah, and I mean, people might have different views on this, but before social media, we used to have authorities on things that you would then believe.
Yeah.
And those people were generally, they rose to the top because what they believed was correct in some way or form to a certain amount of people who also agreed. But now when you have 1 million people who all think they're the authority, then you get into that arguing and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Whereas before, if you were like, I want to buy a USB stick, and the guy who's like the PC guy, you know he knows his stuff.
Like he's on PCGamer.com.
He says, use this USB stick.
Yeah.
We'd all go buy that USB stick.
Yep. Or something similar or whatever. Yeah, you would take his advice.
And it felt like life was simpler when you had a few authority figures, you know, rather than a billion.
It's a good question because it's kind of like almost lends itself into loot boxes and microtransactions to an extent. Because the loud majority, if you were to just take the social media speaking of it on it, no one says, hey, I bought all this crap on microtransactions. Most of the tweets and stuff I see on microtransactions are people actually complaining about it. So if you were to take just the social media opinion from other people, I would actually say that you would think, oh man, like microtransactions are in every game for some reason, but they're not selling. But they are selling.
Right.
Which is the weird thing. But like I would say that the social media is steering, makes it look like it's the other way, which is strange.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. Internet might end up being a worse thing than it was a good thing in the world.
Too many people in the kitchen is what this is. It's too many. It's too much.
Cooks.
Too many cooks. Scary. I don't like that. That music video scared the hell out of me. I can't.
It scarred me. Yeah.
It
it's
hurts.
Pretty messed up. All right. Thanks for listening on your favorite podcast service.
Well, I want to know whether we're going to stream on Mixer.
Like I said,
I don't know what to do.
Like I said, we're still at the starting line of streaming.
Well, I was going to say, why don't we stream to YouTube?
You could do that too. I'm fine with that too.
I think Mixer allows you to stream to both.
If that's the case, let's do that.
Because we have OBS now.
Yeah. Well, look for we'll tweet it out what we're on. So follow us on the Twitter. After we
I
just got done.
like how this was like Ninja Switches, and then we're comparing it almost to like us. Like, man, should we be changing the mixer? It's like one dude's like, who?
I was watching one streamer, and they in like their description it said like they were moving, and everyone thought they were moving to mixer, but it was just they were moving houses.
Damn it! See, it's damn social media again.
Yeah.
Frick.
All right, so just keep an eye out on our Twitter page, and we'll let you know where we're streaming next Wednesday.
Hell yeah.
See ya.
Peace.